So this is the drilling jig I showed in the last video, and what I have now is our diamond core bit. This is a Milwaukee Diamond Ultra wet core bit that I got from the Home Depot website, and this is what the bit actually looks like. This is the diamond cutting end. I found that so this is 7/8 inch diameter. The main shaft of the bit is slightly smaller than 7/8 diameter, so to make it fit snugly in the 7/8 inch holes, I wrapped it with 3 wraps of painter's tape, and I've also marked, you can see here, Sharpie lines that indicate the start and the end of the cut depth. And what we're going to be testing at the bit on is this scrap piece of granite countertop, and this is a wet core bit, so it has to be run wet. So I've made a dam on the top of this granite surface out of plumber's putty. I'm going to fill this with water, and that will let the bit always be sitting in water, so I don't have to stop and spray it. If you were doing this with 2 people, you could have 1 person operating the drill and one person spraying the bit. Since we don't have that, I made this dam, and I'm just going to fill this with water. So I'm going to do that right now. So we got a good amount of water in there. I'm going to clamp this down. And drill a hole. I think that's lined up. Okay. So this is our steel base plate mock-up, and for alignment we'd have this clamped to like a 2x8 here, and then clamped up to the steel splice plate on top to get this all located correctly, as I explained in the previous video. And we'd have this pinned, these holes pinned through the steel base plate and through the jig for alignment, and make sure that this is all aligned properly before we start drilling. So we'll assume that that's already been done, and just for clarity, I'm just going to take this out of the way. And I'm going to plug in our bit into our core drill. So that's loaded. Drop it. I'm going to plug this in, and we're going to do a test hole. The granite is just under 1.25 inches thick, so we're going to time it and see how long it's going to take us to drill that. So I've got a timer here. We're going to start that. Hopefully you can see that. The camera, I don't know. It's going to hide it. And we'll see what we can do here. Just get it set. I don't know if you can see there's a black mark here where we're starting. This black mark here is where we'll finish at 1 inch and 3/16 deep, and this is a halfway mark. So we're coming up on 1 minute elapsed, and I haven't actually started drilling yet, but here we go. And actually this is fairly loud, so I'm going to put on some ear protection. take a look. Our water dam is still holding, that's good. So we still have plenty of water. Okay, we're about halfway now at the about 3 minute mark, minus 1 minute because I was talking. So we've gotten about halfway through in 2 minutes, which is good. The tape is starting to abrade a little bit around the hole, so that may not be the best solution, but we'll keep going. Looks like we're pretty close to our mark here, so I think we may be almost all the way through. So it's almost 6 minutes minus 1, which is 1 minute, which is 5 minutes. I'm just going to drill a little bit more. I think we're almost through. think we're effectively through. It's hard to tell. Effectively through. It's hard to tell. I've hit so it's plywood, so it's a little hard to tell if I'm already through. But I'm going to call that through. But I'm going to call that 7 minutes elapsed time. I didn't actually start drilling until minute one. So we'll call that 6 minutes. I drilled 3/16 of granite. So that's what about 5 minutes per fence. So I'm going to take the top of this core and a piece of granite, and we'll see how it looks. So I'll get this out of the way. When I was drilling, this is a 16-pound rotary hammer drill. We drill a little mode, not hammering, so we don't destroy the bit. This is a 16-pound, just to apply light pressure. It's just we don't damage the core bit drill, and we take drill, and that was enough in light pressure to drill it. So. Alright, there's our end. So this. It looks after drilling. Diamonds, it's still good. So that's good. I've cleaned the gunk off it. There is still definitely diamond grit on it. So not sure how long that would last, but so far it's a granite. We still have all our water from the dam, so I'm going to pour this water out into our pan. It looks like we went all the way through plywood, and it's just the epoxy that's holding this plug in place. I'm just going to pop that out. Screwdriver. Yep, so we did get through the plywood, and this is what our plug looks like. And this is what our 7/8 inch hole looks like. So our holes through the foundation stone need to be 12 inches deep. This is a 1 1/4 inch hole, and once we've drilled those, we'll put our 3/4 inch rod, anchor rods with epoxy holes into the holes, and then we're ready to proceed with putting the sill on. So I would say our Milwaukee Diamond Ultra wet core bit is successful so far. We drilled at a rate of about 1 inch about every 5 minutes, I would say. 5 minutes per inch through this hole. So if the bit holds up, that implies 5 times 12 inches would be 60 minutes. So that's an hour per 12-inch hole, assuming the bit continues to cut at the same rate, which we would hope for. But we may need to have backup bits, spare bits on hand, just in case these bits burn out faster than we think. So it looks like the rig the jig held the core bit in good vertical alignment while we were drilling, and I'd say this was a good result. So that's it for this one.